Welcome to our continuing series, Fine Poetry, poems that touch deeper chords. Today, part 2 of Jorge Luis Borges. The Just, a man who, as Voltaire wished, cultivates his garden. He who is grateful that music exists on earth. He who discovers an etymology with pleasure. A pair in a southern cafe, enjoying a silent game of chess. The potter, meditating on color and form. The typographer who sets this, though perhaps not pleased. A man and a woman reading the last triplets of a certain canto. He who is stroking a sleeping creature. He who justifies or seeks to a wrong done him. He who is grateful for Stevenson's existence. He who prefers the others to be right. These people, without knowing, are saving the world. New England, 1967. The forms in my dreams have changed. Now there are red houses side by side, and the delicate bronze of the leaves, and chaste winter and pious wood. As on the seventh day the world is good. In the twilight there persists what's almost non-existent, bold, sad, an ancient murmur of Bibles, war. Soon, they say, the first snow will fall. America waits for me on every street. But I feel in the decline of evening, today so long and yesterday so brief. Buenos Aires, I go journeying your streets without time or reason. Readers of that night with a sallow, dry complexion and heroic bent, they guess that, always on the verge of adventure, he never sallied from his library. The precise chronicle of his urges and its tragic comical reverses was dreamed by him, not by Cervantes. It is no more than a chronicle of dream. Such my fate, too. I know there's something immortal and essential that I've buried somewhere in that library of the past in which I read the history of the night. The slow leaves recall a child who gravely dreams vague things he cannot understand. Shinto. When misfortune confounds us, in an instant we are saved by the humblest actions of memory or attention. the taste of fruit, the taste of water. That face returned to us in dream. The first jasmine flowers of November, the infinite yearning of the compass, a book we thought forever lost, the pulsing of a hexameter, the little key that opens a house, the smell of sandalwood or library, the ancient name of a street, the colorations of a map, an unforeseen etymology, the smoothness of a filed fingernail, the date that we were searching for, counting the 12 dark bell strokes, a sudden physical pain. 8 million the deities of Shinto who travel the earth secretly. Those modest divinities touch us, and pass on by. Limits of these streets that deepen the sunset, there must be one, but which, that I've walked already one last time, indifferently, and without knowing it, submitting to one who sets up omnipotent laws and a secret and a rigid measure for the shadows, the dreams, and forms that work the warp and weft of this life. If all things have a limit and a value, a last time, nothing more, and oblivion, who can say to whom in this house, unknowingly, we have said goodbye? Already, through the gray glass, night ebbs, and among the stack of books that throws a broken shadow on the unlit table, there must be one I will never read. In the South, there's more than one worn gate with its masonry urns and prickly pear, where my entrance is forbidden, as it were within a lithograph. Forever there's a door you have closed, and a mirror that waits for you in vain. The crossroad seems wide open to you, and there a four-faced Janus watches. There is, amongst your memories, one that has now been lost irreparably. You will not be seen to visit that well under white sun or yellow moon. Your voice cannot recapture what the Persian sang in his tongue of birds and roses. When at sunset, as the light disperses, you long to speak imperishable things, and the incessant Rhone and the lake, all that yesterday on which today I lean, they will be lost as that Carthage the Romans erased with fire and salt. At dawn, I seem to hear a turbulent murmur of multitudes who slip away, all who have loved me and forgotten. Space, time, and Borges now leaving me. Plainness to Hedy Lange. The garden's grillwork gate opens with the ease of a page in a much-thumbed book, and once inside, our eyes have no need to dwell on objects already fixed and exact in memory. Here, habits and minds and the private language all families invent are everyday things to me. What necessity is there to speak or pretend to be someone else? The whole house knows me. They're aware of my worries and weakness. This is the best that can happen, what heaven perhaps will grant us, not to be wondered at or required to succeed, but simply to be let in as part of an undeniable reality, like stones of the road, like trees. In brackets, Norman Thomas Di Giovanni. Montevideo. I slide down your evening like weariness down a slope. The young night is a wing over your flat roofs. You are the Buenos Aires that once was ours, that has slipped away quietly through the years. You belong to us, festive, like a star on the water. False door on time, your streets seem to belong to a quieter past. Dawn light from where morning comes to us over the sweet brown waters. Before reaching my blinds, the sunrise has brightened your gardens. City that can be heard as a verse. Streets with light like a patio's.